while the riders enjoy a well-designed
to the edge. These three, based on what we saw on more than one occasion in 2025, going to be serious podium challengers, fighters for victories in our new season. They didn't let us down, that's exactly how it's turned out to be. They show off their hard-earned prizes to take home back to Europe. Of course, from Southeast Asia and then down to South America. First result of the Grand Prix since 2004. Super sweet for David Almanza. Maybe a little anticipated, but easily take the gloss off what was an exploit that he so worked hard for. So unbelievable thing when he first got through, particularly in that fashion when he fighted in the last corner and then he did the photo finish. It does not really get better than that. The challenge now over for David Almanza, what he wants is to make sure it's not a flash in the pan, it's not a one-off. He can emerge from the pack and fight the championship. Last year. Massive injection of confidence, a massive injection of self-belief. Surprises as far as Max Gibbons is concerned, he did easily right there in the mix. And he stuck the world. But now Matsuro is the first win.
Equal close to this finish in the history of the other three flags. David Almanza winner by 3 thousandths from Max Kiela's. Valentin Peroni winning that four-way fight for third ahead of Carpe. Stunning fifth on debut for PERTAMA. Anthony Fernandez sixth. PERTAMA was also top Honda. Brian O'Reilly winning another rookie battle. Seventh ahead of Peroni. Esteban Munoz still got on the 11th ahead of Scott Ogden. Adrian Cruzes at double points finish for Chris Emma. Joe also just going to get to a big name of Enrico State. Leo Ramos got the 16th on his debut. He beats his fellow rookies. Rubinos and Lisa Miller also in the battle. He's the 19th after the tricky first. Julio Pini took Tim's top after a crash of 20 in the group and starting Ferraro and Manaka, who was another early caller. So, as I'm sure you're aware, the championship standings reflect what we just saw. David Almanza, 25 points, 5 clear of Max Kiela's. Valentin Peroni a further 4 points behind. Battle of the 22 we'll see in 2026. Almanza away from pole position, and the die was cast early on, wasn't it? With Kiela straight through into second place. Both started from the front row of the group. They were trying to go with the leading pair. Risi Amanaka crashing in his attempt to do the same here. Cormac Buchanan early forward. So two was good at the beginning and went down into turn 12 and she hits at Leopard debut. Zach Fernandez, the top Leopard entry in the front of the field. He was lucky not to be tailgated by a rider there, Ricardo, who was missing those backseaters in the early stages. He was another into turn 12. Indonesia and most of Southeast Asia on its feet, moving up into third place early on. Eventually we'll all come down and making an error to lose his grip on third place. Sorts of chops and changes in place in his back of the final spot on the podium. This was Kiela's key error into turn 1, which saw his early spell in Chrome come to an end. inside, but Armanza had the run to the finish line. 3,000 seconds footing the pair as they went side by side across the finish line, on the way to close out the first Moto3 battle of 2026. Peroni having got that squad in that fight for third, passing Carpe into the final bend. Armanza, who ended his wait for a first Moto3 victory, and he will take the World Championship lead to Brazil in 3 weeks' time.
In a moment, we'll go live to the Parc Ferme for interviews with the riders who... morning from Gavin Emmett at the Chang International Circuit. We are After a long weekend, the race is finally about to start. We're on the starting grid where the engineers are completing their checks before the off. It's a beautiful day, even if temperatures are quite high. Riders will have to deal with a fair bit of tyre wear. Many have been forced to choose a hard compound on both the front and rear.
This point, pretty much the whole of this Chang International Circuit for myself and Lewis, but down on that grid, it is hot. It is really, really hot. Nobody hot on track though so far this weekend in Moto2. That Dynamo GP rider, Senna Aegis. This is fourth. Right, we start his first pole position. Big improvement last year from Senna, up from 18th in 2024 to 10th in the World Championship is to go now. A lot of people keeping a close eye on Lewis. I think he's already been linked previously with LCR Honda keeping close tabs on him. Big season for Senna this one.
Yeah, big season for so many in this Moto2 class. With so much change in MotoGP next year, it might well be the ideal moment for
all the riders are lined up on the starting grid. The countdown begins for the lights to go out. Just a few moments more and the Thai Grand Prix will begin.
Third overall in 2024, second overall in 2025. Can he go on back to 3-2? So we hope it's Manuel Gonzalez will make sure the future was lights over the ring today. A 39-point lead came as 30-point deficit to Pereira in the last 6 Grand Prix of last year. His four points and 4 class got behind. One of several young hearts crossing out of 2 was Colin
Yeah, race always big, so we have to first lap will be important, and yeah, from that we've tried to build up our pace and try to stay steady, and yeah, let's see if we can end in the top 5 and still go. But most important is taking points there.
He's 21 now, so a couple of years off. So as mentioned, he had podiums in 5 of the last Grand Prix, 7 from Rose the last 11. Without question, a serious time of let's get a buzz of Danny with Jack off the front row.
Yeah, he's had great pace all weekend as well. Danny looks a bit confident going into this one. What type of race do you think he was going to do?
Yes, yesterday I did a good job during the qualifying session with my pace. I'm happy from yesterday, but today the condition is so different because the road is so high. But well, I need to stay calm because the race is very down here in Thailand for the I did enjoy.
Have you done those enjoyed with his team in this 22 lap after going up shortly here? He's got to do that here. Last year was on guard. The jet fixed a little bit of a stupid fancy yesterday, return to the million over 96 as well. As Danny Palagado. Just on the middle of the third, both starting between Manu Gonzalez and Mario Aggi. Action force, special element of Mark Lewis. Wait to see into American racing has got his best qualifying in 8 Grand Prix 2026. His best Moto2 qualifying is for the top 10.
A real confidence boost for Mario, but he's confidence for the season, fully fit, of course, after his shoulder problems going into last season. Let's get the bloke from the pole, man. So in a range of Jack, second for pole position. How are you feeling ahead of this?
Yeah, really happy to be on pole. Great achievement yesterday. Pace was good yesterday morning, and it's just going to be a bit of a battle at these conditions. So yeah, put my rhythm on from yesterday, keep focused, and be there in the end to capitalize. And super excited for a great weekend.
Good luck.
It has so far been a great weekend as far as age is concerned. Thanks very much, Jack, but the job is not done. He's here for 5 points, and what very easy for you to remember, every rider's front and rear. Official tyre temperature, track temperature currently 60 degrees. And alongside, all being strongly linked with the moves, VR46 moves potentially in the 2027 MotoGP World Championship. Absolutely demolished the Moto3 in 2024. There were a few bumps in the rookie road in Moto2 last year, but to many, he is going to be our Moto2 World Champion in 2026. Ages for final hold the bar, wants to have a big say in that matter. As well, he had taken so much confidence from
Yeah, that's too harsh. The man who got to the bars at the moment, but that's what he got at the end of last season on the Tuesday after the Frontier Football 3. And he is well pulled to be on the home. Who can blame him after the way he ended last season? He's a real dark horse for this season. He looks like Boston Discovery's best bet. The reigning Moto2 champion, Diogo Moreira, watches on, looking at the class he's left behind for MotoGP.
Best time last year was Derek, but he was starting the journey into Moto2 glory. The journey was started with Benjamin Harden's all slightly still last year for Moreira. There's Angel Becerra. He might be able to do the damages Grand Prix of Angel Becerra. There or thereabouts on the things of the top 6 for most of the weekend. And he's likely to have a bit of a this weekend, Lewis.
He's been a top rookie throughout the pre-season testing. There are 5 rookies altogether in Moto2 here. Angel Becerra's looking at them in 11th place. We also have Luca Linetta, 20th on the Boston Discovery. Kyle Rossato, the Moto3 champion, Jose Antonio first GP on a Calyx in fourth. And then Chelsea Vietti hit his best qualifying since Japan, and sixth on this one with a Manu Gonzalez, who was fastest on Friday, seventh ahead of Philip Salacha Mario Anchi and Carrigan. Great start of 2025, he's 13th and a brand new loss. And Kinetic is now on a Boston score with Mark BDS. Sturgeon Garcia, 16th. He took out to switch to qualify and switched to class next to him in 18th, just behind Mark BDS's routine. Gini debut 19th from Luca Lanetta and Tony Arbolini now on a Calyx. Joe Roberts, Alberto Brandes and Jorge Navarro opened up to 27. No Adrian Quaectas started in squad 3. He broke his foot when the rain hit the brushes. So last year in Moto2 we had 11 different winners, a new record.
11 different winners last year. Who's going to be the first to what promises to be
While the riders enjoy a well-lit
intense battle in Moto2. So, with that 19-year-old Colombian. Third here last year after a real big fight with our Avenger. Aegis on pole, Guevara and Holgado, the two Spaniards to his right. Keep an eye on Vietti in fifth place. Lights out, we're racing for the first time in 2026. Moto2 here in Bora. Taylor's made a lightning start for the second row of the grid. He's fourth up the third, immediately trying to attack Guevara on the brakes into the first corner. Valtus goes super wide on the exit of the first corner. Second place though in Aegis Guevara. Valencia with that leads.
And Manu Gonzalez, one of the movers, I think he's up a couple on this first lap. He's side by side there with Vaya.
And Guevara has gone from the lead to fourth place in the blink of an eye, accepting that gift. Thank you very much, Danny Holgado from third on the grid. He now leads.
Guevara at the inside trying to get through on Aegis into third place. David Alonso, he's still where he started in 10th place, so no early progress yet for the Colombian.
Wins in Catalonia and in Mategi last year for Danny Holgado.
Front runners before Moto2, they swapped Boscosgoro for Calyx in 2026, and the only evidence is that they've got Altola who's blanking that switch.
Alonso got one place from 10th to 9th, so nothing spectacular on the opening lap for Alonso. He's probably having a bit of a battle with Vietti and Salach at the wrong end of the top 10.
To the final corner we go then. It's completed lap 1 of 22. Aegis having a look at the inside of Altola, which blocks off any attempt on Guevara to come through into third place. So, oh God, no, you're early leader into the first lap, already pulling it out 4 or 5 bike lengths.
Alonso made a nice move at the back of your picture there on Salach to the best
into turn one. I think he was passing Vietti into that top corner. We'll catch them as they come through the first sector as Autumn continues to hold that second place. No, so it is still in 8th place, but Keras behind him making progress. Ages this time goes slightly wide, and he's now going to slam the door shut in the face of Guevara.
On the first lap was the rookie Alberto Ferrandez. He gained 6 spots up to 21st. Helicopter shotgun picks up your lead group. Guevara touched out on the brakes on that long run down over the blind crest into turn 4. Side by side go Aegis and Guevara. Aegis has got the inside line now through 5. This is a big early battle between 2 of the front row starters. Guevara thought about maybe going to
Keras down at turn 5 on the second lap after a pretty promising start. He was just on the fringes of the top 10. Keras out on lap 2.
Yeah, that's going to be costly. He would have just wanted to got a nice solid debut under his belt, gained some experience in race trim on that Calic chassis, so an early bat, the last thing that Keras would have wanted. Through the high speed right hand of 11 we go then. On this lap 2 of 22, it's Holgado that still leads. Aegis not close enough to throw it on the inside of Guevara as they go into turn 12. We've got yellow flags around in sector 3.
Yeah, let's clear it. Keras' bike away just outside of contrast window. Those will clear very, very shortly. So Holgado with the fast lap. Anchi's also gone down to the final corner. So Anchi from his career best qualifying in Moto 2. He's also not made it past the second lap.
On Aegis on that long run down to turn 3. Aegis, one of the tallest and heaviest riders in this Moto 2 pack, so giving up a few kilos, which ultimately translates into a slightly top speed efficiency compared to Guevara. Guevara then has got back through in the 3rd.
Yeah, look from the aerial shots that Guevara was giving the old classic telltale follow me sign to Senna Aegis. Let's just park this battle for the moment because there's a big battle up ahead. He nearly parked on the rear tyre there of Guevara, and Aegis has now lost 5th place, fortunate to say, to his teammate Gonzalez.
Millimetres from disaster that was between Aegis and Guevara. Front tyre and rear tyre never tends to work. But as far as Aegis is concerned, Messi, lap 3, he's now back in 6th.
The nature of this track layout is if you're a fool, there's Alonso, who's then been hit by Salach. He just caught up in that too. And David Alonso is out of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, David Alonso there. We might have a red flag situation here early on. To leaders on to lap 4 of 22. It's his teammate David Alonso who we are concerned for at the moment after that incident. The completion of the previous lap as the standard classification is Danny Holgado, Ivan Ortola and Ivan Guevara. We've got riders 12, 80 and 8.
What triggered that? We just joined the accident just as it was unfolding. It was definitely a high side for Alonso. Whether it was a high side or no, not for some contact, couldn't quite tell. So the yellow flags must have allowed. They've got probably another couple of corners before they're going to make a decision here.
Flags are still out then in that 4 sector after the Salach Alonso Aegis incident. Just prior to that, we lost Mario Aichi and Angel Keras.
So now 8 and 9. We're trying to red flag now come out. They left it as late as they could. Of course, they don't want to stop the race unless they absolutely have to, but they do in this case have to.
Yeah, expected that was going to be the inevitable outcome there. So red flag thrown on lap 4 of 22 here in our opening Moto 2 battle of the campaign.
So coming across that in the middle of turn 9.
Yeah, of course, first and foremost, all of our thoughts are with Philip Salach, David Alonso and Senna Aegis, the riders involved in that incident. Red flag then thrown as we were about to complete lap 4 of 22. At the start of that lap 4, Danny Holgard, there was just further down the order, we had Manu Gonzalez in 4th, having started in 7th place.
So his bike clearly with some sort of problem which seemed to start that chain reaction, so he's now trying to get that bike back. Because of course, first of all, we have to diagnose the problem, and is there any damage, of course, to the back of Aegis' bike if it was packed from behind, or he gets back to the pit. So 2/3 race distance not completed. We did, I think, just complete 3 laps before the race was ultimately stopped. Yeah, we were on lap 4 of 22, so we won't go back to the original grid positions. They'll be the grid position as of the end of lap 3.
Work out how you can get back. You can see there's quite a lot of damage, certainly cosmetic-wise, to the left-hand side of Stalach's American racing machine. Pushing the bike across to turn 12 under his own steam here. Instead of age, of course, he started that Grand Prix from pole position. So the reason the red flag was thrown, as we suspected, unfortunately the rider who came out the worst of that particular incident was the Colombian David Alonso. We saw him being carried away on a stretcher. Everything immaterial really, other than we hoped that David Alonso, as he will be transferred to the medical centre, is okay. There was Ivan Ortola, he was running in 2nd place. Got a great start
by the medical director, which is certainly initially good news. We'll hope for further information on the condition of David Alonso. We saw Philip Stalach there riding back, and of course Cedric pushing his bike back. That's actually helped to care us there, inquiring whether he can restart. The shape of the head there tells him no. But certainly, in terms of the racetrack, that part of the racetrack there, round turn 9 into 10, probably the worst possible point to come across a rider with a technical problem, because it's very tight, very twisty. Of course, you're on that change of direction too, so very difficult for any rider to react behind.